The Letter That Never Arrived, a true Vietnam War story. In 1971, a U.S. soldier disappeared in the jungles of Vietnam. 30 years later, a letter he wrote, meant for his mother, finally reached her mailbox. What happened in those lost decades is one of the strangest stories of the entire war. The story. When Private Johnny Hale, a 19-year-old kid from Iowa, stepped into the thick, wet heat of the Vietnam jungle, he carried only 3 things he deeply cared about: his dog tags, a photo of his mom, and a half-written letter he promised he'd mail home. His unit, part of the 25th Infantry Division, was moving through the infamous Iron Triangle, an area so dense with enemy tunnels and traps that American soldiers said it felt alive. Johnny wasn't supposed to be on point duty that day. He volunteered because he wanted to earn just one more day off, one more chance to sit under a dry tent and finish writing that letter. The jungle greeted him with the sound of cicadas and distant gunfire, a normal day in Vietnam, but then everything changed. The ambush. It was 11:40 a.m. when the world exploded. A hidden Viet Cong unit triggered a claymore mine. Shrapnel ripped through the trees. Johnny's squad scattered. The radio operator screamed for backup. And in the chaos, Johnny vanished. No body, no rifle, no dog tags, just gone. For decades, his name remained on the list of MIA, missing in action, one of the most heartbreaking categories of the entire war. His mother received official letters, medals, and condolences, but never closure. Still, she kept one thing in her living room for the rest of her life: Johnny's empty chair. The strange turn of events. Now here is where the story becomes almost unbelievable. In 1999, construction workers digging near a riverbank in Tây Ninh Province discovered a rusted metal ammunition box lodged under tree roots. Inside, mold-stained photo of an American woman, a pair of U.S. dog tags, and a letter, sealed, untouched, addressed to Mary Hale, Des Moines, Iowa. Vietnamese officials contacted the U.S. Embassy. The letter traveled from Ho Chi Minh City to Honolulu to Washington, D.C. to Iowa, 30 years late. When postal workers delivered it, the old mailman cried. He had delivered Mary Hale's mail for 20 years, always watching her look to see if a letter from Johnny had finally come. But the letter arrived a year after she died. Her granddaughter opened it instead. The letter. The ink was shaky but readable. "Mom, don't worry about me. The guys here are like brothers, and we're doing good work. When I get home, I want to build that porch you always talked about. Tell everyone I'm okay. Johnny." Just a simple letter. Nothing dramatic. Nothing heroic. And yet, it broke America's heart all over again. The final discovery. After the letter surfaced, U.S. and Vietnamese teams searched the area where the ammo box was found. A year later, they located a collapsed section of an old Viet Cong tunnel. Inside were human remains with pieces of a U.S. uniform. DNA confirmed it. Johnny Hale was buried inside an enemy tunnel system sealed by a collapse after the ambush. He never had a chance to escape. The legacy. Johnny's story became more than a tragic chapter of the Vietnam War. It became a symbol of something deeper, a reminder that behind strategies, politics, and battlefield maps, there were thousands of young Americans who simply wanted to go home, hug their mothers, and finish writing their letters. The Vietnam War was full of controversy, pain, and division. But stories like Johnny's show the truth every American understands. Heroes are not always those who win battles. Sometimes they're the ones who never made it back.